What is the worst physical pain you have ever felt? A broken bone? A burn? A migraine so intense you thought your skull would split open? In those moments, we curse pain. We see it as the enemy. We take pills, see doctors, and do everything in our power to make it stop. But what if it just stopped? What if you woke up tomorrow, stubbed your toe on the dresser, and felt nothing? What if you put your hand on a hot iron and smelled your own flesh cooking before you realized what was happening? This isn't a superpower. It isn't freedom. It is a death sentence. Today, we are exploring the terrifying reality of a life without pain. We'll look at the real people living in this nightmare, the science that explains why your body needs agony to survive, and answer the horrifying question: what would actually happen to you if your body stopped producing pain? But before we descend into this painless void, if you're fascinated by the strange and terrifying aspects of the human body, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm feel the pain of missing out. And subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. Close your eyes for a second. I want you to imagine a world designed by a committee of sadists. A world where your joints can grind to dust without you noticing, where your tongue can be chewed to ribbons while you eat dinner. Welcome to the world of the roughly 1 in a million people living with congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP. At first glance, it sounds like a dream. No more anxiety about the dentist's drill. No more tears from a paper cut. You could be the ultimate action hero, walking off explosions. But here is the first horrifying hook of this condition. You don't survive childhood. Think about an average toddler. They fall. A lot. They put things in their mouths. They touch things they shouldn't. Pain is the only thing that teaches them to stop. It is a biological tutor. For a child without pain, teething isn't uncomfortable. It's a chance to chew their fingers until they bleed. An eye infection doesn't itch and hurt. It goes untreated until they go blind. A toddler with CIP might bite off part of their own tongue while learning to talk, simply because the sensation of chewing feels interesting, and there is no pain to tell them to stop. Suddenly, the fantasy of being invincible crumbles into a nightmare of self-destruction. This isn't just theoretical. There are real families living this nightmare. One of the most famous cases is the Jaco family in rural Australia. For generations, they were known as the family that feels no pain from walking on broken ankles for weeks. Their life expectancy was tragically low, not because of some disease, but because of the accumulation of damage. They simply couldn't feel. Then there is the story of Ashlyn, a girl from Georgia who made headlines in the early 2000s. Her parents describe a constant state of terror. They had to check her every few hours to make sure she hadn't broken a bone, burned herself, or developed an infection. Ashlyn once put her hand on a running space heater. A normal child would scream and pull away. Ashlyn stood there, curiously watching her skin blister and blacken, because the sensation was just interesting. She had to have her eyes taped shut at night because she didn't feel the dryness and would scratch her own corneas. Imagine having to protect your own child from themselves 24 hours a day. These stories hit us so hard because they reveal a fundamental truth. Pain is not the injury. Pain is the messenger. And if you kill the messenger, the injury doesn't just go away. It festers. So, what is actually broken inside these people? To understand that, we have to look at the incredible high-speed alarm system built into your body. It all starts with specialized nerve endings called nociceptors. These aren't just pain detectors. They are threat detectors. They are triggered by extreme heat, extreme pressure, and chemicals released by damaged cells. When you touch that hot stove, the heat doesn't just burn your skin, it activates these nociceptors instantly. They fire an electrical signal. This signal races up your nerves at over 200 miles per hour, hits your spinal cord, and is shot up to your brain. Here is the amazing part. Your brain doesn't actually feel the stove. It receives the signal and interprets it. Oh, your brain says, that is hot and damaging my tissue. I will create the sensation of pain to make sure you never, ever do that again. In people with CIP, this system is hacked. In many cases, it's caused by a mutation in a gene called SCN9A. Think of this gene as the instruction manual for building a sodium channel on your nerve cells. These sodium channels are like the gates that open to let the electrical signal through. In CIP, those gates are broken. They are rusted shut. The heat from the stove activates the nociceptor. The nociceptor tries to scream, but the gate won't open. The message dies at the source. The body is on fire, but the brain is blissfully unaware. And that silence is more dangerous than any alarm. Let's play a game of hypotheticals. Let's say you woke up tomorrow with this condition. The mutation is in your genes. The gates are shut. You are pain-free. What does your day look like? 8 a.m. You get out of bed. You step on a sharp Lego. You feel pressure, but no pain. You shrug and walk to the bathroom. In the shower, you turn the hot water up and up and up. You don't realize it's too hot until you see your skin turning bright red. You now have a second-degree burn on 40% of your body, and you didn't feel a thing. 12 p.m., you're hungry. You make a sandwich. You're slicing an avocado, and the knife slips, cutting deep into your palm. You see the gash. It looks weird. You wrap it in a paper towel to stop the bleeding and finish making lunch. You don't go to the hospital. You don't get stitches. You don't feel the need to. 6 p.m., you go for a run. You twist your ankle badly on a curb. You hear a pop. You feel a bit unstable, but it's not hurting, so you keep running. You're actually running on a broken fibula, grinding the bones together with every step. 2 a.m., you go to sleep. But while you sleep, you roll over. You don't feel that your burn has become infected. You don't feel the fever. You don't feel the sepsis starting to creep through your blood. You don't feel that your hand, the one you cut, is now swollen and black with gangrene. By this time tomorrow, you are in the ICU. Doctors are fighting to save your life, amputating limbs to stop the spread of infection. All because the alarm didn't go off. The irony is staggering. We spend billions of dollars trying to escape pain. We fear it, we dread it, but pain is the most intimate guardian we have. It is the silent scream of our tissues begging for help. For those with congenital insensitivity to pain, the world is a silent, dangerous place. They are trapped in a body that cannot speak to them, slowly destroying itself without a single protest. So the next time you stub your toe, or burn your tongue, or feel that dull ache after a workout, don't curse it. Thank it, because that little burst of agony is your body saying, I am here. I am protecting you. You are alive. What did you think of the science behind pain? Is there another medical mystery you want us to explore? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this terrifying journey into the human body, make sure to like this video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching and stay curious. I'll see you in the next video.